Hello, my name's Peter C. Hayward, and I'm going to teach you The Lady and the Tiger Favor by Allysha, Tulk and Kevin Carmichael. As well as the standard game components, you'll need some way of recording scores. That can be pen and paper, it can be a smartphone, it can be coins, whatever you like. This game has both gems and points. Don't get them confused. Gems are not points, and points are not gems. The aim of the game is to have the most points at the end of the third day. The game takes place over 3 days. To set up, just shuffle all the clue cards together, including the 2 wild clue cards. These will form a central deck. As well as that, give each player a face-down door card. This should be kept secret from the other players. And these, we're gonna set up a 3-player game. So 1, 2, and 3. These will determine how many points you actually score. Over the course of the game, you're going to build up a collection of these cards, and they score you points based on your roll card. So everything is here on the reference card, but I'll just go through it briefly. So let's say you were the blue lady. Every blue lady card you get is going to score you 3 cards, because that's an exact match. Every blue tiger or red lady is going to get you 1 point, because that has 1 trait in common. In this case, they're both blue. In this case, they're both ladies. Every red tiger you get has no traits in common. That's going to be worth -2 points at the end of the game. So if this was your final set here, you would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back down to 4. So you get a 4-point total for these cards. As well as that, whoever has the most gems at the end of each day will score an additional 3 points. If multiple players have the most gems, they each score that bonus. How does the game work? So at the start of each day, hand everyone a door card, and these will be face down, kept private from the other players. Shuffle the deck and place it in the center, and each player takes 5 gems. In this game, the color of gems don't matter. They're all just gems. This is a bidding game. Each turn, you're going to do one of 2 things. You're either going to add a card to this central lot, or you're going to call an auction. If you call an auction, the winner will take all cards in the lot. At the start of the first day, each lot starts with 1 card. And so as your turn, you can either add a card to the lot or call an auction. So let's say this player adds a card, this player adds a card, and this player decides to call an auction. Everyone will get 1 bid, starting with a player to the left, and you'll be bidding these gems. So let's say this player bid 2 gems. This player can either pass, or they can try to beat that bid. So let's say they played 4 gems. Let's say this player was like, I really want these cards, I'm going to bid 5 gems. Everyone who didn't win the auction takes their gems back, and then the winning gems, it works in one of 2 different ways. So if the player who called the auction wins, then the gems they used to bid are split among the other players, and any excess is discarded. However, let's say they didn't bid. So this player bid 2, this player bid 4. If this player wins the auction, then all of their gems go to the player who called the auction. So calling an auction is a way of getting a bunch of gems. However, if you win, then you'll have to split up your gems among the other players. So in this case, all of these cards would go over here, and they keep these in a face-up collection. 1 card will re-enter the lot in the first day, and play will resume starting with this player. So this player could immediately call an auction. They could say, I really want to bid for these. This player could bid 1, this player could bid 2, and they could say, nope, I want them, I'm going to bid 3. That's the highest bid. Everyone else would take their bids back, and then these gems would be divided among the other players, with the excess returning to supply. They would take this card, another card would come up, and it would be this player's turn. So play continues like this, and again, just to clarify, you can either add a card to the lot, or you can call an auction with everyone else getting a bid first, and then you getting the final bid. If someone else wins, then you get the gems. If you win, you split the gems up among all other players. This game plays with 2 players, which just means whoever wins the auction pays all their gems to the other player, because you're splitting them up among 1 player. When the deck is emptied, so let's say a bunch of players had won these cards by going around, and then let's say this player called that last auction. So it goes over this player, 1 card enters the lot, the deck is now empty, so there is 1 final auction, starting with a player whose turn it would have been next. Everyone gets 1 bid, and the winning gems are simply paid into the supply. At this point, everyone would score up their points for the first day. So let's see how they did with this random shuffle. I'm going to say this is player 1, 2, and 3. So player 1 was the red tiger. Now, I haven't talked about these wild cards. So during scoring, so at this point when we're scoring everything up, you can actually add the... Wow, this player did really poorly. You can add these wild cards onto a card to change its traits. So this card here, the blue-red, will change a card from being a red lady to a blue lady, from being a blue tiger to being a red tiger, from being a blue lady to being a red lady. It'll just switch the color of that card. Similarly, the lady tiger card will switch the role. So if I played this here, this would go from being a blue tiger to being a blue lady. That would be a terrible move. So let's say in this case, we put this one here and this one here. So the final score for player 1, who is the red tiger, would be 1. Now this is now a blue tiger, so that's worth 1. This is another blue tiger, so that's worth 1. And this is actually a blue tiger. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And they had the most gems, so that's an additional 3 points. So they would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So player 1 gets 7 points on the first day. Player 2 was the blue lady, and they collected... Wow, they did a really bad job here. So they got 1 point for the blue tiger, -2 for the red tiger, minus another 2. So they ended the day with a total of -3 points. And yes, you can have a negative score at the end of a day. Lastly, the red lady scored -2, +1, +3, +3, +1. So each red lady for them was worth 3 points. The red tiger was worth 1. The blue lady was worth 1, and this was worth -2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down to 6. So they ended the first day with 6 points. At the end of each day, everyone resets back to 5 gems. So everyone goes back to having exactly 5 gems. All of the clue cards are shuffled back into the deck to form a central deck once more, and everyone will get a new randomly dealt door card. At the end of the third day, whoever has the most points will be the winner. The only change between the days, so everyone would get a new door card. Let's quickly shuffle these up and hand them out. The only difference between the days is at the start of day 2, 2 cards come out to the lot instead of 1. You still only add 1 as an action, so as your action you either add a card or call an auction. And then once cards are won in an auction, 2 more come out to replace them. So again, you only ever add 1 as an action, but every time there's an empty lot, you would add 2 cards instead of 1, and then on day 3 you add 3 cards instead of 2. That is Favor. It's a simple bidding game. At the end of the third day, you add up points. At the start of the second day, whoever won the final auction of the first day goes first. On the third day, whoever won the final auction of the second day goes first. If no one bids, so let's say this player calls an auction on these 2 cards. If this player doesn't bid, this player doesn't bid, and this player doesn't bid, these cards are simply discarded. It would go over to the next player, a new lot would begin, and the game would continue. That is Favor. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to leave a comment or send us a message, and we'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you.